Hey guys, this is Steve Huff at SteveHuffPhoto.com. I'm here today with a couple of new Zeiss lenses, the Batis or Batis, however you say it, but I have both of them here. So you have the best of both worlds. You have a wide angle, which is not a crazy ultra wide, so you're not looking at 21, you're looking at 25, which is like a happy medium between, say, 21 and 35. So it's pretty wide, but yet usable in everyday situations. As you can see on the A7II, it's pretty short and it's kind of squat. So it's like a fat, short lens instead of the big, long, heavy lenses. So here is the lens on the Sony A7II. When you're in manual focus mode, you're going to see that the display on the lens, it has an electronic display. Your distance scale is right here, and it will focus all the way as close as 0.2 meters. This is for the 25, and you turn it, you could set your distance right there. It's very silky smooth. Of course it's focused by wire, but it's silky smooth and nice, and that gives you that right there. But of course this is an autofocus lens as well. So now I have it set up in autofocus, and as you can see, it's focusing pretty quickly here. So I found that the 25 will focus pretty fast, especially in comparison to the 85, which will hunt a little if you're in lower light. But that's par for the course with any mid telephoto lens. But you can see it has a big hunk of glass there. This is the Zeiss 8518, and this is a sonar design. The 25 is a 25 f2 constant aperture distagon design. Now this lens, the 25, is razor sharp, the 85 is razor sharp, but the 85 gives you that really nice background blur. Your depth of field will be very shallow when you're at f1.8 since you're running it on a full frame camera. Here I have the A7S, and you can see side by side the 25 is smaller than the 85, of course. But this 85 is still pretty small for a full frame 85-1.8, and it's not that heavy. So both of these lenses surprised me. As you could see, they're very manageable on the A7 bodies. They're still pretty small in comparison to some other full frame lenses like from Nikon and Canon. And of course your bodies are smaller as well. So these two lenses are pretty hot right now, and the pre-order, I think there's tons of pre-orders, and they haven't officially started shipping yet. I have them both because they are review samples that have to go back to Zeiss when I'm done with them. But what I'm seeing so far from this set of lenses is nothing short of superb. But that kind of goes along with every lens I've been seeing in the last couple of years. Most lenses that I see these days are fantastic, whether they're coming from Sony, whether they're coming from Olympus, Panasonic, of course Leica. Sony's latest lenses for the FE mount, the full frame mount, have been nothing short of spectacular. The 35-1.4 is stunning. The 90 macro is beautiful. The 28 f2, which I'm going to do a side-by-side of with the Zeiss from Sony. The 28 f2 from Sony is incredible, and it's less than half the cost of this Zeiss, so it'll be interesting to do a side-by-side because the Sony is 28 f2, this is a 25 f2, so you're not too much different on the focal length. But both of these, let's look at the 85 for a minute. It does come with the typical Zeiss boxes, just like their recent lenses have been coming. They both come with a hood, which I will show you in a second. The hoods do add a bit of size to the lenses because, you know, it'll stick out even more. But if you look at the 85, it's actually quite attractive on the camera, as is the 25. But the 85 is a beautiful lens. It's actually just as beautiful as the Nikon 85-1.4, the Canon 85-1.8. Of course, this can't go to 1.2, so we can't compare it to the amazing Canon 85-1.2. But this lens reminds me a lot of the Zeiss 85 f2 that they made for Leica M mount. The rendering reminds me a lot of that, and that's a good thing. You're getting a lot of the Zeiss pop, color, contrast, the 3D separation. You get all of that with this 85, and it's beautiful. Like if I was to choose this or the Sony 90 macro, I would choose this. It will give you better image quality for portraits, like headshots, mid-distance shots, anything where you want that separation. The 25, you can get up close, it focuses close. You're going to have that bitingly sharp image along with the pop and contrast. Not as much shallow depth of field as you will for the 85, of course, because you're a wider angle. So far out of, I have like 10, 12 Sony FE lenses here in the house. My favorites have been this 25, then the Zeiss Loxia 50, which I reviewed a while back. That is a stunning lens, which I compare to the Leica 50 Apo lens, which is crazy. And then this 85. It's a beautiful, beautiful lens. And on the ultra wide, I use the Voigtlander 15 version 3. So the 15, 25, 50, 85 is pretty much what I use for my Sony kit. I do have a couple 35s. Sometimes I'll throw them on there. But it all depends on what I'm in the mood for. I love the fact that you can manually focus these so nice, or use autofocus. Using the big viewfinders on the Sonys, it's beautiful. And I think when I get to try these on the new A7R II, we're going to see the real capability of these two lenses, because that camera's a resolution monster, and I believe these lenses will be up to the task. So this is my quick look at the Zeiss Batis 85 and 25. And real quick, before I close this out, I'm going to put the hoods on so you can see what they look like with the hoods. All right, so here they are with the hoods. As you can see, it adds quite a bit of length, and they look quite a lot like the Zeiss Otis lenses in design and shape, which is pretty cool because those Otis lenses are like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Those are premium, top of the line. So these are kind of using the same design principles as the Otis, at least for the exterior, and you have that cool display, electronic display, which is something really cool and new for lenses. IQ department, they're both stunning, about as good as you can get. I mean, I haven't really experienced anything negative in either of these, whether it's flare, CA, all that purple fringing, any of that distortion. I just don't see it. But I've only used them for about a week. I have them for another week. So if I find anything negative, I will be sure to post it in the review. Well, then always check back to stevehufpphoto.com for news, reviews, daily inspirations, guest reports, user reports, buy and sell classifieds, all kinds of stuff over there, photographic. Over 7 years now. There's thousands and thousands of articles posted there in the index. So go take a look, stevehufpphoto.com. I'll see you there, and thank you.